Hi guys, James at RampantLionReviews again for you today with another beer review. For this one we are going to head up to Gothenburg here in Sweden, or Göteborg as you would say in Swedish, and we're going to do my fourth review involving OO Brewing. So the beer we have today is called Evergreen. This is their IPA. It comes in at 6% and it's very highly rated, which is what you'd expect from OO Brewing. This one comes in at 96 overall on Rate Beer, and Ole, who brews the beers for OO, he also brews for Stigbergets, and you know, he's the one behind the likes of the GBG Beer Week, the Amazing Haze, and all of these sort of things. A very highly regarded brewer, so I am interested to see what one of his earlier brews has been like. I think this one is a West Coast IPA rather than an East Coast IPA, if you like, so definitely interested to see how this one comes out, and of course we do know they produce some pretty awesome beers, so looking forward to this one and I hope you guys enjoy it. But anyway, as is usual with my beer reviews then, I'll tell you a little bit about the brewery. If you want to get straight to the tasting, just fast forward. All the usual links are in the description below. That's the brewery website, the link to my other OO reviews I've done before. No doubt I will add more in the near future. There's all the usual social media. If you want to see more beer reviews, do subscribe to the channel. The whole channel of course has a geography based tagging system, so you can go into the homepage and search for beer based on country, city, state, whatever it is you're interested in. Do check out the playlists of beers from different countries. There is one there for all the Swedish beers that I've reviewed for you before, and as always please do get in touch and let me know some of the other beers and breweries you guys would like to see me review, especially some of the Swedish ones that I may not have heard of. But the support and the input you give to the channel is always hugely appreciated, and it's always great to hear from you guys, so don't hesitate to get in touch through the Twitter, Untappd, or whatever it is you like. So anyway, to tell you a little bit about OO Brewing then, so as I mentioned to you before, OO Brewing are based in Gothenburg or Göteborg in Sweden, and they were founded back in 2011 by Olaf and Ole Andersson, who are childhood friends, and for many years they were also avid home brewers as well. But the pair have always been really interested in beers, and Ole had been heavily involved in the Gothenburg beer scene since before he was drinking age, and of course he's the head brewer at Stigbergets Brewery as well, and this is where all of the OO beers are produced. So while Ole is brewing, Olaf actually manages the business side of the brewery, and the whole idea is that basically they just want to brew the beers that they would love to drink themselves, and you know, in my experience they do a pretty damn good job at that. I think OO have somewhere in the region of 10 beers, Stigbergets maybe have somewhere in the region of 20 as well, but you know, if you get the chance to try any of these beers, you know, OO and Stigbergets are two of the best. The two of the most highly regarded Swedish breweries at the moment, so if you get the chance to try some of their beers, then definitely have a go at them. These OO beers actually, from what I remember, they weren't available for quite a wee while actually, and then all of a sudden I checked System blog and they were all available, so I just ordered them while they were there. So there will be some more OO Brewing reviews coming up in the next little while. But yeah, that's enough about the brewery just now. As I always say, if you want to find out more about the company, go and check out the website. I think with this company it's better to follow them on Facebook, to be honest, when I've been looking at them, but make sure you try some of their beers if you get the chance. But I'll just bring up the camera and let you have a little look at the artwork on this bottle then before we open it up. So as you can see, it's quite nice. The Stigbergets and OO Brewing, they do have a kind of similar style of artwork, but OO actually have a nice, almost minimalist, it's that kind of typical Nordic minimalism that goes into the artwork on these, and it's actually very tasteful and very nice. So it says on the side here, Evergreen, a juicy IPA with our favourite American hops. It doesn't tell you what ones, but brewed by OO Brewing at Stigbergets Brewery, best stored upright in a cold, dark place. So yeah, unfiltered and unpasteurised, 6% ABV, 330 ml. So yeah, best before the 21st of June 2017. So yeah, well in date. Plain bottle cap on this one, of course. You can see on the side there, there's another little thing. If I just bring that in closer to you, you can see the symbols. I actually noticed a mistake on the bottle here. It's telling you just about the pronunciation of OO Brewing, but the Japanese characters that it has A Brewing in hiragana, but the kanji bit after it, I'm pretty sure is right, but it says A Brewing instead of OO in hiragana, so that's just a wee thing to notice about this bottle. I'll need to tell them that so they can fix it, unless of course it is intentional. But yeah, so let's get this guy out and we'll get on with the tasting then. So yeah, should be really nice. Oh, you can smell the nice fruits off this one as you open it up. I'm guessing just by the look of this beer then, again, it's maybe meant to be an East Coast IPA. I was thinking this one might be a West Coast style IPA, because I know that Stigbergets have a West Coast IPA. I need to try that as well. But this one, just from the aroma and from the look of the beer, I think this one is going to be one of these East Coast IPA beers, but it looks very, very nice. So as you can see, this beer's poured a really kind of bright, yellowy amber colour, this one. It's almost just like kind of pineapple juice or tropical fruit juice. It's not really that dark. I think you're seeing it's very yellow on the camera. If I hold it up to the light there, it is a little bit darker than that. It does have a little bit of a kind of orangey tinge to it, but it looks very, very nice. You can see there's a half finger of a frothy white head on this one. There's some big bubbles, of course, sticking to the side of the glass. There's actually quite a wee bit of sediment visible in this bottle, or in this glass, sorry. But it looks very, very nice, and you can smell these nice kind of almost mango-y kind of tropical fruits. Maybe, I'm not quite sure if it's pineapple. To me, it kind of strikes me more as a mango note coming off this one. But let's have a closer look at the aroma then. You can actually see, if I put my fingers behind the glass, this beer is pretty much completely opaque. You can't see anything through that, really. Really nice looking beer. So let's look at the aroma more closely then. Yeah, to me it actually comes across as really tangerine-y. It's actually quite a big tangerine orange character that's coming out of this one. When you sugar it up a little bit more, you can smell some of that grapefruit just underneath this one. I do wonder if there's maybe some Amarillo in here, and I do think there's like Citra and Mosaic probably the Mosaic is what's given this beer the nice sort of tangerine notes. I think there's some Citra as well. Yeah. You know, you're getting some, there is a good bit of orangey character in there, which makes me think Amarillo, or if it's tangerine, it's more likely to be Mosaic. But you can smell a little bit of grapefruit, and on top of that you're getting these nice kind of lighter tropical notes. There's a good bit of mango coming out of this one, which makes me think Citra hop. It's always quite fun to guess them, of course, but the main point is whether it's going to be a good beer. But if it doesn't tell you the hops, it's always good to kind of guess. If it does tell you them, you kind of know roughly what you're looking for, and you can say in the review, oh, it leans more towards this or that. But when you don't have the hops, it's more of a, it's just interesting to try and guess. So I may well be wrong, but yeah, tangerines, grapefruits, well, maybe a little bit of richer orange as well. Like I was saying, there's a good bit of mango character in there. I think there's a wee bit of a kind of peachy apricot sort of thing. I'm not getting so much in the way of pineapple or something like that, but I think there's Citra in here. But there's a bit of floral character, you know, the typical kind of grassy, floral, aromatic sort of thing. And there's a bit of, underneath you can smell, there's a bit of bready character and almost a little bit of biscuity sweetness. But if this is going to be a New England style IPA or an East Coast IPA, then it's more likely just to be a sort of bready note that we're getting out of this one. But it does smell really quite nice, and again, it kind of follows along the same line as the likes of the Narangi and the Amazing Haze and stuff. It does smell like one of these big juice bomb New England style IPAs. But just take a little bit of time and enjoy the aroma in this one. There's a lot of fruity character going on to this one. That's definitely where it leans to. You can smell a little bit of that big floral character underneath it, and some bready notes as well. But overall, a really nice smelling beer. So let's get stuck into this one then. So this one is the Evergreen, a 6% IPA from OO Brewing in Göteborg here in Sweden. Skål! Oh yeah, that's pretty good. To me, it doesn't come across quite as potently as the Narangi or the GBG Beer Week or the Amazing Haze. This one's just a little bit different from that. It's a little bit, it's maybe just a little tiny bit toned down from those. But it's damn good. And I wouldn't expect anything else from these guys actually. But yeah, that's nice. So yeah, as you would expect with this one, you've got that big kind of bready, smooth bready malt base that just goes right across the middle of your palate. The malt base in this one is quite simple, but this is a big, bitter kind of beast of a beer. There's a lot of there's a bit of piney resin in there, but I think it's more of a spicy sort of floral character that's just underpinning this one. You'll feel that kind of spicy floral character right around the edge of your tongue. As you go around the front curve of the palate, it's a bit lighter and more grassy, and you can feel the bitterness actually just spreading into the middle of your palate, which is quite interesting. That probably tells you about how much hops they've blasted into this beer. But yeah, that's really nice. That is a damn good beer, that actually. I'll say straight up, I can see exactly why this beer is rated as it is on Rate Beer. I've said that. I mean, it's the same thing with any of the Stigbergets OO Brewing beers, you know, they're producing some quality stuff. They're not going to let a bad beer come out of the brewery, and this is another really top drawer one. I can see maybe why it's a little bit, it's rated a little bit less than the other ones. I should say that, because to me the flavour, this is very nice. This is a bit more easy drinking than the other ones, I have to say. Like, I mean, the Amazing Haze, the Narangi, the GBG Beer Week, they're really damn good beers, but they're just a little bit more potent than this one. This one's a bit more of a slightly easier drinking one, I should say. It's not quite got the same bitterness and kind of big juicy fruity character. It does have that within its own right, but it's just not quite at the same level as the other ones. But it's a damn good beer. Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment of this one, to be honest. It's really good, but it's just a little tiny bit below the Narangi and the GBG beer with the Amazing Haze and all these sorts of things. But that doesn't take anything away from this beer. It really is a nice one. If you get the chance to try it, have a go at it and see what you think. From what I gather, this was one of the earlier ones that they produced, so it's interesting to try this and then just see what the progression is to the next ones. So it's always, and I always find that interesting. I mean, I've said that in a couple of beer reviews I've done before, for example Imperial Stouts, where I've tried some of the classic sort of Danish Imperial Stouts, like the McKellar Black Hole and all of these things, and then you go to the newer ones and see how the style's evolved. It's the same idea with this. It really is just interesting. And if Stig Bergets and OO Brewing both had the capability of producing these kind of beers in their earlier days, you know, it really is, it's very kind of comforting to know that, you know, that the Gothenburg beer scene is really kind of ploughing on. They produce some great stuff up there. Yeah, a damn good beer this. The fruity side of the beer is interesting as well. So with this one, I think there's a wee bit of grapefruit in there, but really I think it's more of a citrus character. If you just go to that little oily bubble behind the front curve of your tongue there, there's a strong citrusy character just kind of underpinning this beer. Then on top of that, as you progress into the aftertaste, the beer, I find it starts to become a little bit more grassy and floral. You can just feel that sort of spicy floral bitterness just lingering there in the taste. And the fruity character, there's a nice strong orange character, some sort of, as I say, there's a little bit of mango juiciness in there. I think maybe there is a little bit of pineapple, to be honest. You're getting some sort of, I don't know if it's quite sharp enough for peach, but I think there's a bit of apricot-y note in there and things like that. You know, it's really interesting. I do think there's maybe mosaic in this one. I do think there's a little bit of mosaic in this beer, along with some citra. I'm not sure. I don't know if they're, I don't think maybe Simcoe, though. I'm not getting the kind of passion fruity notes that you'd normally expect from that. But yeah, no, the main point is it's a really nice beer. So if you like these kind of New England style IPAs, this is definitely one that you want to hit up. And like I said, it's a good beer to have in comparison to the ones like Amazing Haze and Narangi that they've done later. I can see exactly why it has the 96 rating it does on Rate Beer. It really is very nice, and if you get the chance to try it, have a go. And I think I'm going to review in a few videos time the Muscles Double IPA, so I'm interested to see how they do this one and see if they can sort of scale up these, see how they kind of scale up these New England IPAs into a double IPA. I think that will be a really quite interesting beer to review. So yeah, this is pretty damn good. In terms of the mouthfeel of this, I would say it's mid-bodied. Carbonation in this one is quite smooth. This beer doesn't really have an oily or a wet mouthfeel. It's a very smooth, not creamy mouthfeel, but maybe a little bit of a, maybe chalky is a kind of good way to describe this one. It's the New England IPAs do have that slightly thicker mouthfeel. They're not oily and they're not wet. Yeah, I think that's a good way to describe it. They've just got this slight thickness to them. Also, it reminds me a little bit of the mouthfeel that you get from some of these organic beers. But it really works for them actually. It brings out the fruitiness nicely. There's a big hoppy bitterness to this beer, like I was saying. It smooths out as you progress into the aftertaste. The malt base is quite smooth. There's maybe a little bit of sweetness in there, but the fruity character, of course, is the highlight of this one. And that's quite a nice juiciness, but it kind of mixes in with the big sort of spicy floral aromatic bitterness as well. But overall, the flavours of this beer just go together really well, and you know, you wouldn't expect anything less from OO Brewing. So if you get the chance to try this one, the Evergreen, have a go at it and just see what you think. It really is very, very nice. So yeah, it's been awesome to review another beer from OO Brewing. Like I said, in a few videos time you'll see me review the Muscles Double IPA, so keep your eyes peeled for that. But this is a damn good IPA, and if you get the chance, have a go at this beer. So yeah, thank you once again for watching my beer reviews. Until the next time, please like, subscribe, share, all the usual YouTube stuff. Make sure you check out my social media. Let me know your own thoughts on this beer in the comment section below. Let me know what other beers you reckon I should try from OO Brewing, and Stigbergets of course as well. But I hope you've enjoyed this beer review, and until the next time, slange just now. If you get the chance to try the Evergreen from OO Brewing in Gothenburg, it really is a damn good beer. And if you get the chance, if you really want to get into Swedish beer, OO Brewing and Stigbergets are a very good place to start. Until the next time, it's slange just now, and I'll catch you guys very soon. Skål.